Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the scariest, spookiest stories about Walmart. If you like getting chills down your spine while hearing about the creepiest shopping experiences, be sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Buckle up and let's take you on another thrilling hair-raising Walmart adventure. So, y'all are not gonna believe this chilling story that happened to me a while back. I ain't much of a writer or nothing, but I have to share this with you because it really messed with my head. My name's Lily, and let me take you on this strange journey that started at Walmart and made me question everything I thought I knew. Ma and I went to Walmart one day, especially looking for clothes and just some basic things you needed for the house. I couldn't help but take a quick detour through the toy aisle. I've always been a sucker for cute and pretty dolls, so I was visibly excited. As I was browsing, I spotted this creepy, old-looking doll that strangely caught my attention. I had these glassy eyes that gave me the shivers and a faded, antique-style dress. Though I didn't understand why, I knew I just had to buy it. Hesitantly, I showed the doll to Ma, and as I expected, she downright hated it. She said it was scary and not the type of toy she wanted me to have. But I was stubborn and begged her until she finally agreed to get it for me. We found the mysterious vendor lurking nearby who was selling the doll. He had unkempt, dirty hair and an unsettling grin that sent shivers down my spine. He let it go for a price that was almost too good to be true. Trust me, I would learn later on why the price was so low. As soon as we got back home, I was thrilled to place the doll on my bedroom shelf, among my other dolls. That night, as I lay down to sleep, this eerie feeling washed over me. I began hearing strange noises, but brushed it off as my mind playing tricks on me. I wish I had known at the time that it was only the beginning. The next day after school, I noticed that the doll wasn't on the shelf anymore. It was sitting on my bed with the creepiest expression on its face. Although I was scared, I thought maybe my older brother was playing a prank on me. I confronted him about it, but he genuinely denied ever touching the doll. The peculiar happenings continued over the following days. The doll would move to different spots in the house, and it wasn't just me who was noticing it. Eventually, my whole family began to feel like there was something seriously wrong with the doll. My parents, initially skeptical of my stories, finally started to believe that the unsettling incidents were caused by the doll. They too started noticing odd things happening around the house. As each day passed, our fears grew stronger. Things took a drastic turn one night when I was woken up by my little sister's scream. In a panic, I sprinted to her room and found my parents already there, pale and shaken. The doll stood upright on her nightstand.
It was moving, I swear. My sister was crying, and even my brave dad looked terrified.
The next morning, we were all in agreement. The doll had to go. My dad tossed the abomination into the garbage, hoping that would be the end of it. The relief we felt, however, was short-lived. Just when we thought things would go back to normal, none of us could have expected what happened next. The doll returned. One night, I found it sitting on my dresser smiling at me like nothing ever happened. Screaming, I woke the whole house, and everyone gathered in my room. Once they saw the doll, they knew we had to do something more extreme to get rid of it for good. We tried everything drowning the doll, cutting off its limbs, even burning it to a crisp. No matter what we did, though, the doll returned, increasing the terror with every reappearance. The entire family was on edge, unsure of how to handle the relentless nightmare. In desperation, we turned to a psychic for help. She visited our home and revealed that the key to permanently eliminating the doll was finding and destroying the hidden charm hidden within its stuffing. After hours of searching, we found the charm and smashed it to smithereens. Relieved, we burned the doll one final time. This time, it never came back. Our lives ultimately returned to normal, but none of us would ever forget the horrifying encounters with the doll. Now, whenever I spot a creepy doll, I go out of my way to avoid it, remembering that frightful experience and how close my family had come to falling victim to the evil that dwelled within it. Gather round, well, and let me tell you about something that happened to me not too long ago. Something I still struggle to wrap my head around. My name's Dylan, and I've never really been much of a writer, but I felt the need to share this story. The last thing I ever expected was to be thrown into an unbelievable, haunting adventure that would make me question reality itself. So picture this. One ordinary evening, I decided to head to Walmart to grab some groceries and everyday essentials. You know, the usual stuff like bread, milk, and toilet paper. Little did I know, I was about to experience something far beyond the realm of ordinary. As I entered the store, an intense dizziness washed over me, accompanied by a strange feeling of disorientation. I tried to regain my balance as the world seemed to blur before my eyes. When my vision finally cleared, I found myself standing in what appeared to be a dark, twisted, and eerie parallel version of Walmart. At first, I thought maybe I was imagining things, or even having some bizarre hallucination. But as I looked around, I realized that this nightmare was all too real. The store's surroundings were decrepit and overgrown, stocking unsettling, unrecognizable items on the shelves. The atmosphere was dark, oppressive, and just plain wrong. Making the situation even more surreal were the store's inhabitants disturbing, twisted versions of humans that seemed to have stepped straight out of a horror movie. Despite the terror gripping my heart, I knew that my main priority was finding a way to leave this wretched place and return to my own world. As I cautiously navigated the twisted aisles of this otherworldly store, I encountered some entities that appeared to be more benevolent than the monstrous inhabitants I had first encountered. Though communication was limited, they offered a silent yet comforting presence and seemed to want to help guide me back. Relying on the goodwill of these supernatural beings, I braved the terrifying trials that this parallel Walmart threw at me. The dangers lurking within were unimaginable, horrific creatures and unsettling challenges that pushed me to my limits. Feeling isolated, scared, and desperately longing for my loved ones, I clung to the hope that with the aid of my newly found supernatural allies, I would make it out of this hellish world and back to my own. There were moments when I almost lost hope, fearing I would be trapped in this haunting parallel universe forever. But to my immense relief and gratitude, I eventually found myself back in the familiar Walmart I had entered earlier, unscathed but profoundly changed. Memories of the fear and otherworldly horrors lingered, but what stood above all else was the newfound appreciation for my family and friends, and the life I had taken for granted. As I walked out of the store that day, clutching the groceries I'd initially come for, the overwhelming relief of being back in my own world washed over me. It might sound crazy or far-fetched, and I don't expect anyone to believe me, but what I experienced changed my life and taught me the importance of cherishing every moment with those I love. Nowadays, I hold my loved ones a little closer and remember the extraordinary ordeal I faced. It serves as a stark reminder of just how uncertain life can be. You never know when you might find yourself standing in a dark, twisted place, yearning for the familiarity and warmth of home. So, this is what happened. My sister, she told me she bought this cheap Halloween makeup kit for my niece, right? She got it at Walmart. You know Walmart, always got discounted stuff. Well, anyway, the brand was unknown, but it was really cheap, so she thought, why not? She didn't think it'd be a big deal or anything, just wanted my niece to have some fun dressing up for Halloween. Okay, so moving forward, she gets home, and her daughter, my niece, she's all excited and everything, so they start using the makeup. It looks, normal at the beginning. My niece gets her face painted and she looks real nice, like a witch or something. But then some weird stuff starts happening. At first, the daughter just complains her face gets itchy and all. Normal kid stuff. But then, things start getting all crazy. After a while, she begins to act all strange and dangerous. Like she started walking all slow and weird, like someone from a horror movie or something. She'd be talking in this strange voice too, like she's possessed or something. Now my sister, she's a tough woman, but even she be freaking out at this point. But she didn't want her daughter to sense her fear, so she tried acting normal, asking her if she wanted to go for a treat or something. No answer. The daughter continued to stare at her, her eyes now a deep, lifeless black. My sister thought that maybe the makeup is causing all this stuff, so she tried to remove it from her daughter's face, but it won't come off. So she tried using soap and water, and still the makeup won't come off. She even tried using some kind of makeup remover from one of those beauty stores, but it was a no-go. So then she starts to think back on when she bought the kit and remembered some strange-looking woman also looking at the same makeup kit at the store. She got kinda like a creepy vibe from her, like she knew something ain't right. She didn't mention her before, because I guess she didn't think it was important or something. But now she started thinking that lady must have something to do with all this mess. At this point, she tried to ask around and find out who this creepy lady was that sold her the makeup. Some neighbors from the store said they'd seen her from time to time, but they weren't sure where she lived or who she was. They all voiced their agreement that the woman in question appeared suspicious, almost as if she were some sort of witch or sorceress. Anyway, my sister finally found out where the creepy lady lives, and she ain't too far from the store. So she goes there, right, knocking on the door, all scared and stuff, but she's just too desperate to save her daughter. She needed answers, and guess what? The creepy lady answers the door. She takes one look at my sister, and she definitely knows what's up. The lady tells her that she had cursed the makeup kit, that she used to own the kit. But when it went wrong, she sell it to the store. She'd be rambling about how it haunted her dreams and how it did some real messed up stuff to her, driving her insane. She figured that she could escape the curse, bypassing it on to someone else. My sister got mad. Like, who does this lady think she is, cursing people and stuff? But then, the lady, feeling some kind of guilt, decides to tell my sister how to break the curse. She says that the only way to break it is to paint the same stuff on her own face.
That's right, my sister now needs to wear that dangerous makeup on herself, so that her daughter would be okay.
For some reason, the curse wants to feed on fear or suffering or something, and since the daughter was scared, it made her the perfect victim. So, like my sister, she's really scared now. But she had to do it for her daughter, you know. So she goes home and paints the makeup on her face with the creepy lady watching from a distance. She didn't know what would happen to her, but she wanted to save her daughter, no matter the cost. Soon after she finished, the daughter suddenly snaps out of her creepy state, and she's back to normal. The color returns to her eyes, and she's smiling, asking her mom what's going on. It's like nothing ever happened. As for my sister, well, turns out the curse didn't do nothing to her, 'cause she wasn't scared of it. The creepy lady be wrong about that. She's just glad everything's back to normal. In the end, the lady who cursed the makeup disappeared. Nobody knows where she went. But my sister, she's just happy that the nightmare is finally over. She swears to never buy discounted Halloween stuff again and decided to throw away that creepy makeup kit for good. Heck, I don't blame her. After what she went through, I wouldn't go near a cheap Halloween makeup kit myself. Now tell me if that ain't one scary story. Thanks so much for sticking with us through this entire story. As we're still experimenting with this format, your feedback is incredibly valuable to us. Please show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Let us know what you enjoyed and what didn't quite hit the mark. We'd also love to hear what you'd like to see in the next frightening tale. Feel free to vote for the comment that suggests your favorite idea. And remember, we create these chilling stories based on your requests.